Yeah, Dayton, I got your email. Did you not today? Did you not get my response? I can work through that problem right now too, if you want me to. I'll walk it through you as well. I'll write it down here. I'll start with like this. I'll start with this. So volume of a cone, right, is this formula where it's 1/3 pi r squared times the height. Just like with kind of prisms and pyramids, you basically do like for a prism to a pyramid, you would do whatever you did for a prism and divide it by 3. It's the same thing for cylinders and cones. This part of the formula is the exact same for cylinders. It's just you have this 1/3 out in front. In other words, you divide by 3. So that question you did, it gave you the height and the volume. In the head, you find the radius. It had I think it said the height was 12 and the volume was 484 pi. And the idea is to solve this for r. So this is a bit of an algebra problem. And you question, like, where did the pi go, right? That was one of the questions you asked. Well, what they did, just like if you were to do some simple equation like 4x equals 20, right? If you're to do 4x equals 20, you would divide to get the x by itself. You divide both sides by 4, and the 4's cancel on this side. And you get x equals 5, right? Kind of like algebra 1, even before that, where you multiply, you do the inverse operation. Pi is just a number. So just like I divided the 4, I'm going to divide both sides by pi. And by doing that, the pi's cancel. And you're left with 484 equals 1/3 r squared times 12. Put that up there for a second. All right, so the idea of that step is I divided both sides by pi, and the pi's canceled. Okay. The next step is, well, on the right side here, this is all multiplied, so it doesn't matter the order how you multiply. I did 1/3 times 12. In other words, I did 12 divided by 3, right? Because again, with a cone, you end up dividing a lot by 3. So I'm going to take the 12 and divide it by 3, or multiply it by 1/3. And I'm left with 484 equals 4r squared, right? Because 12 times 1/3 is 4. Or in other words, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I'm up to here, 484 equals 4r squared now, right? And to get the r, the next step is just like I did before with the 4x equals 20. I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I get 121 equals r squared, right? 484 divided by 4 is 121. And to get rid of the square, you're going to square root. So you can use a calculator to do that, but you also can think what number times itself is 121. The answer is 11. So the square root of 121 is 11. I think it was centimeters. Tesla, they got 11 on that. I sent you a video as well of me doing this, but that's if you want to see it here. The idea, though, if any other general math students end up watching this, is that for a cylinder and a cone, right, the volume of a cylinder is just like a prism. It's the area of the base times the height. It just so happens with a cone, or excuse me, a cylinder, all right, the bases are circles. So you find the area of the base, which is this pi r squared, and you multiply by the height to get the volume of the cylinder. The cone is pretty much the same formula. Oh, maybe that looks big. Right? It's pi r squared times the height, but it's obviously, you can't put as much water in there. And you end up dividing by something. What you do is you divide it by 3, or you multiply it by a third. So these two formulas are very similar. It's just for the cone, just like with prisms and pyramids, it's the same logic, right? If you have a box, right, that you do length times width times height. If I have a rectangular pyramid, I find the area of the base, right, length times width times the height, but then divide by 3. It's the same thing with this calculation here with cylinders and cones. Yeah, so I mean, for general math, really what you got to get done is, again, the second part of the Google Slides on cones today, where you need to just eventually answer, just get 10 questions right. If you get some wrong, stick with it, right? Yeah, appreciate it, Dane. Have a good day. I'll be on here for another hour or so. General math, hour 1. Oh, 3 people turned in. Online and take a look here. Oh, geez. Oh, that's pretty easy. All right, Nick. Can you type in the question at all, Nick? Like what you're stuck on? Or like what the given information is of what you're trying to find? Are you trying? Are you given like surface area and like the radius and want to find the slant length? Or are you given volume and you want to try to find the height or radius? You can be kind of specific so I can help you. Okay, gotcha. I think all right. This is the one where you're given a surface area of 240 square feet and the radius is 6. You can type in the YouTube chat, can't you? It might be quicker, so you know. I think I see that problem here. Well, I can at least go through that one with you because I have one up here from the practice. So you have okay, the radius is 7 and the surface area is 450. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, thank you. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe if you get another one, you can do. I'll do that one too. Comments are disabled. What? I thought I undisabled them. All right, good to know. All right, so the surface area you said was 450. And then the radius is 7. And I assume it says use 3.14 for pi. So hopefully we can just approximate. So the surface area formula for a cone is kind of ugly. Sorry. Oh, perfect. All right, yeah, so I assume it says, Nick, that it says use 3.14 for pi. The surface area formula for a cone is pretty ugly. If you click, usually on those questions, if you click the hints, it might pop up with the formula as well. Basically, if I get a sheet of paper, so to explain it quickly for you, get a sheet of paper quick. All right, see if I can do this. Like, if you get a cone, stuff to do. Here's your cylinder, right? There's your cylinder. A cone comes to a point on the top. And also not the greatest, but imagine you have a circle cut out. On the bottom, there's your base of your cone. And you unfold it, you get like this kind of fan-looking thing. And that's where in this formula, this pi RL comes from. Because this should make sense. This part here is like the area of the base, the circle part, the pi r squared. And then this part is that, you think of a cone that's slanted up to a point, it's that area around the outside. So you gotta find what this letter is. So this is it's really an algebra problem. And we said that, get the numbers in here quickly again. You said this, so, we're given that the surface area, you told me, is 450, and then the radius is 7, and then we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So this requires, probably want to have your phone out or some calculator, because this will require some calculations. I'm going to put the 450 in for the surface area. I'm going to replace the r with 7, and then pi I'll use 3.14. So I'll just write that all out here. 450, lost my video so I can see how I'm looking. 450 equals 3.14 times, again, for the r, I'm going to put 7 to the second power, plus 3.14 times 7 times L. This problem is not too nice. And so what I'm going to do is get out my calculator, and I'm going to kind of calculate some things that I can determine. So I can I can do this. I can do 3.14 times 7 squared, or in other words, 3.14 times 7 times 7. I'm just going to get the calculator and do the times 7 times 7. And I get 153.86 plus, and over here, I can do the 3.14 times the 7. 3.14 times the 7 is 21.98. I still have that L over there. So I'm going to let you, if you can see that for a second. So again, I plugged in the numbers into the formula. To get this number, I did 3.14 times 7 times 7 squared. Plus, to get this number, I did 3.14 times 7, and then I still have that L left, which I have to solve for. Okay. So now what this really is like a problem from like algebra, just to do a different problem. Something like this, where like say I have 20 equals 4 plus 2x, right? It's really, to get the L, we're going to do the same steps we would to solve for x in this problem. So you would subtract 4, then divide 2. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to take, instead of subtracting 4, we're going to do 450 minus 153.86. It's kind of messy, but that will cancel. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 450 minus 153.86, and I get 296.14 equal to this part now, 21.98 L. Right, so 21.98 L. This problem is not fun. All right. And so I have one more step to do. And that's, I multiply, I have a number equals some product, right? I have 296.14 equals 21.98 times L. So just like if this was 20 equals 2x, you would divide both sides by 2. I'm going to take 21, I'm going to divide both sides by 21.98. That'll be my answer. So I get L equals, let's do that quick, 296.14 divided by 21.98. So I don't know, check the direction. Sometimes this can be like, the problem I see on here is it says round to the nearest hundredth. So that's 2 decimal places. So I'd round this answer to 13.47. I don't know what your problem says to do. But that would be the answer to that one. Sometimes with the CK12, just so you know, it's very sensitive with how you enter the answer in. So we did it right, but it might just be when you type in the answer, it might say it's wrong because it wanted it in a different form. So just make sure you read the directions of how it wants it. Does it want it to the nearest tenth? That's a tough question. That's as hard as they're going to get. Surface area is not fun calculations. Volume is much easier. All right. So I'm going to erase that then. I'll still be here. I'm going to be here till probably close to noon. So if you have any more questions, just type them in. You get a lot of juniors. I'm surprised. All right, guys. If there's no other questions, I'm gonna log off. I'll still be around my technology throughout the day today. So again, just to for the classes that we're supposed to be meeting today, it's Algebra 1 and General Math. Algebra 1, you're working through Module 3, Lesson 10. Got to get those 2 ed puzzles completed. General Math, you're working through the cones, part of those Google Slides in the beginning of the week. Please remember to sign in. Make sure you document that you signed up for class today. Otherwise, administration is going to contact, right? Well, I'll contact first, but if you guys aren't documented, you're signing in, complete those tasks, you'll get just contacted eventually. But again, Algebra 1, Module 3, Lesson 10, the 2 ed puzzles, General Math, cones activities. You guys have a great weekend. This is the last time I'll be contacting you for the week, I believe, for the odd hours. So again, I'll be around my phone, computer. Feel free to email me. Let me know if you have any questions on stuff. I can send you some other videos, link you to some videos that I've made, or make some more. You guys stay healthy. God bless.